Okay, folks, we are looking at Oboard, which is an OKR application from Oboard, and you can check them out on their websites, oboard.io, and you can get everything from solutions, consulting services, and a whole host of resources to support you on your OKR journey with Oboard. You can also get this nice 14-day trial for free. So you can download this, give it a go, and really see how it can bring value to your team, to your departments, to potentially your whole organization. Alrighty, so let's jump into it. And I have got Oboard connected to accelerate.delivery, so you can download this from the Atlassian Marketplace or get it directly from the Oboard's websites. We've downloaded it and installed it as an application, and let me just move this across. So we are in a section called objectives, and I'm looking at my objectives. So these are all objectives that are associated to Shane Gallen, and we've got this collapsed view in front of us. We can essentially expand this out. So Oboard offers this multi-level objective and key results, and you see here metrics, so we'll talk about that in a moment, but essentially a multi-level view of different strategy components. And this is a new concept from Oboard, where they've got strategy components that you can customize based on your strategic practices in your organization. So we've got lots of items here, we've got different colored squares with acronyms inside them. So let's take a look at what each of these mean, and I'll just go into settings here, and this is where you can configure. So let's just move this out of the way. This is where you can configure those strategy components, as well as some other aspects like labels, custom fields, how you do your check-ins, your integrations, your audit log, your groups and users. So this is the admin section of the tool, but I want to show you these components because this is what's making up that hierarchy, as well as this component called team. So we have company level objectives, so type objective, we've got department level objectives, we've got product objectives here, we've got team, I thought this was actual team, but this is a team objective. So these are the 4 levels of objectives here. Now there's no way for me to actually set a strict hierarchy here, and that's not a bad thing, right? Because there may be parts of my organization that don't have product objectives, but they've got department objectives. So maybe some part of the organization aren't using team objectives, although this would be potentially at the lower level of the hierarchy. But maybe we want to connect our product objective directly to some of our higher level company objectives. So it gives us this flexibility in terms of the hierarchy and how we connect these strategic components. Now I can add more components here, and I can add either an objective or a metric. So this could be a KR, a KPI, or a task. So within Oboard, they've got metrics in here describing work, not just key results or key performance indicators. And if we scroll down here, we can see that we can add initiatives in here. So these are considered bits of work, but within Oboard, they're classified as a metric, so we can essentially track the progress of this initiative towards an outcome. Alrighty, so if I did want to put a metric in there, I could. So just create it from here. I can set the ID, the type, and we can set progress options. So we can take some of these out, and then we can connect this to specific workspaces. So this is where, if we go back to this setup, we could have HR, for example, might be a workspace, and they will have company objectives, department objectives, and maybe they don't have product objectives. Their products are built maybe externally, but they will have team objectives. Or maybe they do have products that they build themselves, so they would have product objectives as well. But that ability to associate these strategic components to different workspaces allows that flexibility, as well as this flexible hierarchy, to configure this based on how your organization connects its execution work all the way up to strategic objectives and key results. Alrighty, so that's the components, and if I go back, we've got this hierarchy view. So you see this real top to bottom view all the way from our company level objectives right down to here. So we've got this is a Jira, let's see, it is a task in Jira. So you can see our task connected all the way up to our company strategy. So super cool to be able to see this. You know, if I'm working on a team and I want to see how my, you know, this piece of work that I'm working on today, or this sprint or this iteration, how does this connect all the way back up to strategy, so I can understand how I'm moving the needle. Or maybe like a lot of teams that get asked to do work, this gives me the ability to say, okay, how does this connect back to my strategy? And if it doesn't, you know, really having that ability to challenge, why are we working on this? Alrighty, so let me close that down. So, you know, in terms of, you know, people using this, whether I'm a team member, like I just showed there now, and I want to understand my team level objectives and how my work connects to it and how that connects all the way up to strategy. Whether I'm a product leader, wanting to set my product objectives and key results and connect them up to my company level strategy, and maybe start to set some KPIs. Or whether I'm a transformation leader, I could be a portfolio leader, I could be a company leader. This application really gives you that ability to create the views with the right information on how we're performing against our strategy for the right people. So this is the list view, and I can collapse that down. I can also look at what's called my group's objectives. So there's only one group in this instance, so the Acme Inc. But there's also these teams that sit within it. So I might just want to look at products. So that filters that on down. So now I've got a view just for products. Maybe I want to look at product and engineering because I'm having a conversation, and maybe marketing as well. So we're looking at, okay, how do our objectives of product connect with engineering and connect to marketing, because we've got this new product release. So you can see straight away how flexible this is, and actually how intuitive it is as well to build these views. From here, I can see those objectives, how I'm progressing, if they're on track, you know, when are we working towards here, which quarter, and any other details as well. So I can start to build out all our elements, or I can start to add all their columns to this, and I can organize them like this as well, and just really customize this view based on what I need to have the conversations that I'm having. And I can't, there we go. I was trying to scroll across. Alrighty, so that was my objectives, my group's objectives. Now, what's super useful is being able to have a roadmap view. So I've worked with teams before that only really want to share the outcomes that they're working on, because they know and recognize that in the quarter when they're delivering against that outcome, that things change. And it's not really about delivering a specific feature or a specific epic. We really want to communicate the outcomes that we're trying to deliver quarter on quarter. So these types of roadmaps are super useful. Okay. I'm having a problem scrolling, but it's not the application, it is my mouse. It's going back. So that's good old magic mouses. It's always good when this happens live. So let me scroll back this way. So going back in time, so talking again about those outcome-based roadmaps. Now, working with those types of teams, we would have had a company objective or like a business objective set annually, and potentially a couple of objectives that we're looking to contribute towards, and then we would set our objectives for the quarter that are laddered up to a product objective that connects to that business objective. And then we would set the key results that we're looking to move the needle on this quarter. And then we'd start to think about, okay, what work could help us do that? And this is where this type of roadmap really becomes useful. So I can just start to communicate okay, let me scroll back. You know, what are the outcomes for this quarter? So let me move this to the quarter-based view. So for Q3, this is our outcome that we're delivering. Now we might have a few more in there. So this has just got objectives and key results. Scroll back, so it might look something like this. And then this is a really nice way to have a conversation about these are the outcomes that we're delivering, and not just all these features and epics and stuff like that. Now, if I do want to have that type of view, I can filter this roadmap down to show just my Jira issues. Now I know I only have one, so when I come in here, I can see that nice Jira issue here, and it is set within Q1 2025. So with demo environments, I don't have a lot of data built out in this, but you can start to see the capability here in terms of building these roadmaps out. And of course I could, let me take this filter off. Maybe I just want to look at product objectives, or maybe I want to look at department objectives. So I started to build out these different types of roadmaps. Now this is filtering on me, so I could take this off. This is the whole organization now by show me all the department based out objectives and how they connect all the way up to my company level objectives. Maybe I want to set a specific group, so maybe it's IT operations I want to look at. So now I've got this roadmap view. So whether you're doing a check-in, your OKR check-in at a specific cadence, whether you've got your quarterly business review coming up, maybe you're going into your quarterly, your planning interval planning event if you're doing Scaled Agile framework, or maybe you're just going into a quarterly planning event and you want to look at the outcomes from last quarter and start to think about what the outcomes are going to be this quarter. This is a super useful view regardless of what conversation you're having. Alrighty, so we looked at the list view, the roadmap view, how we can really slice and dice those views depending on who we are and who we're having those conversations with. Now what I want to look at is the ability to bring out key data points. In this view I'm looking at the company focus. So maybe I am a senior executive and I want to understand how are we progressing against, there's a nice way to view this vertically. So I want to look at how am I progressing overall for this time period. So let's see, we are looking across a few quarters here, and specific objectives and key results. Now I can configure what I'm seeing on here. Right now I'm looking at these three company level objectives and how they're progressing, and alongside them the child's department level objectives, so those DPs and key results, and of course we've got child product ones in here. So I'm getting a sense overall how are we progressing, and then each of those company level objectives, how they're progressing. So you can see we're doing really well at elevating product excellence to unprecedented levels, forever improving our operational efficiency and scalability, and becoming a market leader in AI. In the AI calendar assistance category. We're not doing so well. So as a senior leader, I can get a pulse and a sense check and get the right signals of where there's success and failure and the risk associated with that at a couple of clicks of a button. Now I could build this out and so give a bit of a description here. I could add another OKR module which is just specific to each department maybe, or I could build out my KPI module. So what are those key KPIs that I want to build out, and then I can add them here. Now I don't have any KPIs in the system, but we might want to be setting up KPIs for HR. So maybe we are looking to improve our overall recruitment process, and we will want to reduce the time to fill a vacancy. So that might be a key results that we're looking at. But a KPI might be retention rate of our employees. So we can add in all these different KPIs and key results, but for this KPI module, we'll be able to select those KPIs from this drop down here. Alrighty, so that's how we can build out these dashboards, and back. You can see here I can create multiple different dashboards. So maybe I just want to have a HR focused dashboard, or a product focused dashboard, or a dashboard for specific departments. So we can build all of these up, and this is just a general dashboard. So this is showing us everything for Q1 Q3 in the whole space. We've got our performance reports. So again, just looking at overall objectives, the metrics, not started all the way to abandoned, the average total. I don't think I can customize this. People by group. Let me go back to Q1 to get more data. So you can see how all the groups are performing. This is kind of like a leaderboard type view, and it's done alphabetically, so not based on overall performance. Now I think I can. Nope. Oh yeah, we can do it based on average total. Okay, so some nice capability there. Now what I wanted to do is go back to the objectives, because there's some really nice information that we get within the objective itself. So I'm going in at this company level, I see all the nested items below this, and I can actually then delve further. So a lot of times when you get this nested view, I can't then click further down. So this is a really nice capability. So if I want to, I can go on down. So we've got the chart here as well. This is just showing how we're progressing. I only have one data entry in here, but I want to show you how we can do a check-in. So again, if you're doing monthly check-ins, quarterly check-ins, it's important to get key information around the sort of qualitative information that goes alongside this quantitative information. And what we can do there is essentially, if I can remember, let's see, alrighty, so progress, so I can edit from here. What I want to do is edit this top one. Do that, so I'd have to edit this top one from here. So it's manual status. This is just auto status. This is updating this. I can't see the place to update the progress on this objective, but let me do it from this department level objective. So right here I can come in and I can edit, and whenever I come in and edit, I can there's progress setup. This is what I'm looking for, because this is where I can, no, it's not. Progress history, activity log, show charts, progress. So I essentially want to do, right here on the right hand side. So let's go all the way back up here. Did I miss that? No. There's no progress option here on the right hand side. I wonder, this is likely set up to be based on the items below it. So if I update this objective, which I don't have a progress here, but let's go down into key results. So if I open up this key results, got the update progress. This should then update the progress of the rest of the parents. So you can see here that we're 67% in terms of progress. Let's update this. So we're starting at 1,000. The target is 700. So we're looking to reduce the quarterly number of support requests. So let's say we reduce that down to 820. So we're doing well. We're 60% through. see the way that automatically updated it? That's doing an automatic like status report based on how we're progressing and in the context of when we're trying to achieve this key result. Now that should have updated. See, 3%. Let's update this one. 87%. Let's update this one. So let's say that this is 2 firm. So we've now updated this parent one, and yeah, 99%. And you can see here that we've got weights. So on these, each of these are weighted. So each of them have got their own impact. So this is 33% each. So you can weight these objectives. So maybe you want to say that one's got a higher weighting than the other, and that's going to adjust how it is summed up for the higher level scoring. So let's come out of that. So as we're doing these check-ins, what's super important is we want to put a comment in here, talk about why things might be on track or off track, add any information that's key to this specific objective. Alrighty, so that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour for Oboard. We've been going 21 minutes. Definitely give it a check. I'd be keen to get your views or your sort of feedback on your experience from it. For me, overall, this is super intuitive as a user. I've used this before. I've had a bit of a poke about. You can see it's connected to your instance, and it is intuitive. It's nice to see how it's continuing to evolve as well. You can check out Oboard to see what's coming next. But in terms of like looking at objectives and key results tools, I'm always thinking about why might we use this, and one of the key reasons is we just want to connect our work to our objectives and key results, because we want to make it transparent, or at least be able to track in a meaningful way how we are moving the needle on these key outcomes. Other people want to be able to bridge that gap between execution and strategy, so they're starting to think about this from a strategic nature, and Oboard allows you to do both of these, whether you're at the team level or thinking about this at the department level, so we can kind of see it in this example, or at the enterprise level. I can start to shape these key strategic components, so my objectives, my key results. I can also set KPIs. I can do this at the company level. I can also have department level. I could have line of business level, product lines, products levels, team levels, and I can really customize this based on how my organization is adopting objectives and key results in their space. So as a company leader, I can come in and check how my strategy is performing from outcome perspective. I can delve down into it and see how the work is performing if I wanted to. I didn't see anything to do with funding, but I do remember let's see. So when I'm thinking about this is with strategy, I'm thinking about my people, my work, my time, my funds, my goals, my outcomes. What are my strategic priorities? How do I keep track of that? And how do I get the sort of signals of success and failure at a click of a button? And funding is one of those key elements, because I want to understand, the investment or the bets that I'm placing in my strategy. Is it actually returning what I'm expecting it to return? And if not, do we pull the plug on it and pivot somewhere else? Or if I'm, seeing something succeed really well, and maybe it was a bit of a small bet, maybe I want to invest more in that as a result. Now, custom fields. So I think there is, so there's a money custom field. So what I could do is set a few fields that are custom, that are money based, maybe CapEx, OPEX, and I can start to, I could do it at that high level. I could maybe do it a wee bit more detailed. I've not really played about with this enough. That's for a future video. But you can see here that I can start to connect money to these outcomes, or potentially, the initiatives. So this is really giving me a nice bit of capability to start to think about how I connect my strategy to execution and make some real key decisions. But again, whether it's at the team level, how much do we cost as a team, and are we returning, that and more from what we're delivering, and not just delivering on our outcomes or delivering the work. And also at the department level, it'd be nice to see if we can do some addition. I'm sure you can. So like, how much are all my teams costing, all that work, how is that spread across my strategy, and start to make some key decisions there as well. But overall, super impressed by Oboard. Definitely give it a go. Let me know in the comments. I always do this. I'm just noticing Rovo chat here, and it would be cool to see how Rovo chat interacts with Oboard as well. So again, a few things to look at in a future video. Alright folks,